Good day to you folks, welcome back to Pushing the Potters, episode number 27. We were last out against, I was going to say Celtic, but that's who we're doing today. Schalke, of course, we dispatched with Schalke. The first leg carrying us through, really. The second leg was a mere formality. What have we done since then? We've only played the one game away at Sunderland. We went behind to a Djilabodji goal in the 27th minute, but fortunately we were able to recover, taking the game away from them in the second half. Really, you can see there, Milik getting a hat-trick. He scored the pick of the bunch as well with his hat-trick goal. You see there, Asasibar brings it out of midfield, finds Vlasic, goes all the way back to Trippier, who finds Milik, who just absolutely leathers one into that top left-hand corner. Lovely stuff indeed. Put the gloss on a fine 5-1, and indeed a comeback, although, quite frankly, we should have never really let them score. So what does that mean today then? It does mean we've got Celtic. It's what we were waiting for. This is the team we're going to play today. It's Butland, Trippier, Little John, Big John, Telles, Allen, Mbula, Verlinden, Lamar, Vlasic, Milik. Verlinden's starting on the right side due to injury to Berardi. Obviously, Weiser can play there, and in many ways he's probably the better option. But Verlinden, I mean, he's got 11 goals. Those attributes, fancy word for stats, but those attributes seem to belie how well he's actually done this season since breaking into the first team, and it's a real success story for him. You can see there, he's hardly played, he's hardly kicked a ball for us. He managed to score a goal in the 17-18 season, but since then he regressed, he hardly featured. And then, of course, this season, out of necessity, we've called upon him, and he's not let us down. 8 goals, 6 assists, and 2 player of the match was 7.49 from 17 league games. Yeah, I'm happy to keep him around as long as he continues to thrive. His value's going up, so potentially he's a sale option. His contract does expire next year, so we'll have to consider what we want to do with him. It will be a pressing concern this summer. Maybe we just cash in and use the money elsewhere. Let me know what you think, though. Should we be keeping a player like Verlinden around? I don't see him as an elite player, certainly. If you look there, there's hardly any real quality. He's got far too many 12s. Anyway, we're here today for that Celtic game, so that is the lineup we're going to play. Let's get going, shall we? I'm going to start on the away system. We took it away from Celtic. We played them twice before in the Champions League group stages last year. We won comfortably both times out. Was it a group stage or was it a cup? I think it was the first knockout round, actually. Apologies, Celtic. You did progress. It wasn't a group game. It was a genuine knockout stage. So hopefully we can do the same again this year. We've got the home leg to rely on as well, should things go wrong in terms of Lee Griffiths taking the game away from us. Hopefully that won't occur. Hopefully we'll just simply run out easy winners in both legs and we can progress to our first Champions League semi-final. And as the team's got, it's a big old stadium, isn't it? Celtic Park, look at that. We're on the roof. It's easier if you don't want to pay for a ticket. Get onto the roof and watch from there, bird's eye view. And here we go then. So, as we said, the Celtic team hasn't really changed from when we faced them last year. I'm sure they have got a couple of extra players, probably a couple of extra better players, given the fact that they're in a quarter-final. So, just 10 minutes played, and not a lot really happening, but here comes Griffiths, and he skips past one. He has a strike from distance straight at Butland. It was a good strike, though, really. It was on target from that range. It's always difficult to achieve. And, unfortunately, it came to nothing. Butland takes a free kick now, 15 minutes on the clock. Headed down, Verlinden picks it up right side, looks around for support, finds Allen deep to Mbula to Lamar, finds Telles in space, looks inside, Lamar slams it into that top left corner, lovely strike on the ball, great vision by Telles to pick him out, saw the isolation around him, big gap around Lamar, you don't want to be giving him that much space, you can see that he's well marshalled, but then Telles brings the ball, and you can see Lamar finds a huge gap, a huge void between the Celtic back line and the defending midfielders, and truly dispatches the ball into that top left-hand corner. So, half-time then. It's been comfortable. Celtic haven't really come forward, apart from that Lee Griffiths chance from about 60 yards. So, there's certainly an air of comfort about the scoreline, although very tentative comfort. Still, here we go, second half. Let's hope we can continue on in our fine fettle. So as time ticks away then, over an hour played now, Telles has found his way into the book. I think we're going to get Weiser on for Trippier. It's just not worth taking the risk, and again, that's a good option for keeping him on the bench rather than starting him ahead of Verlinden because he is a defensive option. And I think we're going to... Shall we get Borthwick on? I think we will. We won't take the risk with Telles either. 15 minutes to play now. Borthwick Jackson picks up a throw-in on the left side. Vlasic crosses to Weiser, who finds Milik in space, tackled quite well, and Celtic seem to have committed a few more bodies forward as Iglesias picks it up from Griffiths. He loses out to Big John. Nice forceful challenge there, Big John. And here's Lamar, tackled. Lots of tackles flying in. Vlasic skips away from his man. Gets tackled by the same man. Lamar, left side now, finds Vlasic a bit more central. Can Vlasic do the damage? Oh, it's not bad effort. It sort of looked like it was going to cause trouble and then seemed to balloon over the crossbar. I think we're going to get Gylfi on for Lamar. He's looking a little bit shy of fitness at this stage, and we can certainly rely on Gylfi to see us out as we go into the 84th minute now. An equalising goal from Celtic would be disappointing given. I mean, that seems unlikely to have been a penalty, to be honest. This referee's not been on our side, to be quite honest, today. I mean, in the additional 40 minutes since we kicked off the second half, Celtic have not committed a single foul. Anyways, I assume this is Scott Sinclair's going to step up. He's against Jack Butland, and he finds the bottom corner. It's not a complete disaster. I think it's unfair on the game, although they've had quite a few chances. If you take that to heart, well, we don't need to see that again. But quite honestly, I think we've been the better side, and the referee has clearly not been. Oh, there's just a talking to for the Celtic boys, of course, and I'm assuming Alan will definitely go into the bucket. Oh, it's Little John. I thought it was Alan, but Little John goes into the book as well. So we've had 4 cautions. Multiple fouls. Will this be a yellow card? Will he just put one in the book for the last couple of... He does put one, just as a token gesture for Bikacic. So it looks like it's going to be a 1-1. That's fine. We get an away goal, and we have the home leg to come. I think we'll certainly do the business there and take the game away from him. Borthwick Jackson conceding a penalty, which didn't look like one. It just looked like 2 players running together, but never mind. And that will be game at Celtic Park. A 1-1 draw, disappointing in terms of the results, but ultimately we haven't lost and we are in command of the tie, and that's key for us. So let's skip ahead then. We've got one game in between. We've got a Manchester United home game in the league. I'll give you the results of that obviously as we go, but otherwise it'll be straight back for that Celtic home leg, and hopefully we can finish off the tie and find our way into that delicious semi-final. So yeah, folks, as time ticks down in this United game, it's finished 0-0. There's nothing really to speak of. We've had the better chances, really, I feel, without having had a look at the stats. They may well prove me wrong, but you've missed nothing, to be honest. I think we were unlucky, although we barely had anything at the game, according to that. So, yeah, we'll move straight on to that Celtic game. You missed nothing there, as I say. Vlasic injured. You will now miss that game, most likely. Late tackle. And then they kept tackling him as well. I couldn't take him off. I'd already made 3 subs. Nice play, United. Nice play, Mourinho. Thank you. All right then, folks. So with this key, I'm nervous now. Quarter-final, second leg, home to Celtic. 1-1 from the first leg. A questionable penalty at best, given to get Celtic back into the tie. No real changes. The only change, a forced one. Vlasic removed from that damage hill thanks to Mourinho's brutes, and Gylfi Sigurdsson slots in on the left side. Otherwise unchanged. Kyle Walker-Peters just takes the empty slot on the bench. And as we kick off, I've just realised that Mr. Dembele I selected to start. He started the Man United game. I decided to rotate. So that's my error. Should have been Milik. It is Dembele. Maybe he'll score one against his former club. He's a good player. He's just really score. He keeps getting into big droughts. That's not really pushed on as I'd have liked and expected, to be honest. Though now Mr. Dembele likes to develop. But still, he's got the chance to put one over on his former employees today as Trippier picks up a knock and restores himself to fitness. And here we are, 17 minutes played. And here's Berardi on the right side. Finds Lamar. Mboul is a little bit further forward. Finds the aforementioned Dembele. Nice pass to Lamar. Lamar should have probably finished there. It's that former striker Munir in goal who, he got down well to his right. Maybe Lamar was hoping he'd dive. Maybe he thought he'd wrong-footed him. He didn't. It's important to remember that we are winning at this stage, but it's a lead that is on an absolute knife edge, but we break here. Lamar, found by Sigurdsson. Lamar will probably shoot. He does shoot. He does score, and that firmly puts us in the driving seat as Lamar makes his way over towards the fence. And I mean, that's a huge gap, isn't it? You'd be panicked if you sat on that edge of that main stand. I hope there's a safety wall, because otherwise it is a sheer drop. Anyway, Lamar, lovely finish. Keeper nowhere. And 2-1 overall with an away goal bonus. But of course, if they score another dodgy penalty, here's Trippier left-sided. Can he do anything? He does sort of launch it to the middle. Nowhere. Bilicic mops up. Here's Roy. I don't know. I said it last time. I don't know how to say his name. Is it Rogic? I should know. Apologies. I don't really follow Scottish football anywhere near as to the level as maybe I should. Dembele, a bit of a tired finish, which is a bit frustrating after 25 minutes. You'd think he'd be desperate to impress. He's got to do better with that if he wants to start games ahead of Milik. Chances are flowing now, as you'd expect. Celtic certainly got to go for it. Headed chance, or rather a throw in, headed away, no problem. Sigurdsson left side, goes back inside to Trippier, who finds Lamar dropping deep in Bula to Telles left side now. He moves on, he's advanced, he's gone too far there in Abue. That's Kawasi Abue. I very much doubt that's Emmanuel Abue. But Lamar now, Stoke have it back, and it's all Stoke. Telles, left side, crosses. Berardi's there to head home. And if we were in the driving seat before, we're beyond that now. We're out on the bonnet. It's great. We're in control of the game. Half an hour, you can see that. That's a lovely pass out. Telles, right foot to control, left foot cross. Berardi just unchallenged, heads into the corner. No problems at all. That should be game. And for a quarter-final of the Champions League, as I said, we should be beating Celtic. It's going to get harder. Sigurdsson, keep us nowhere, and Big John makes the game absolutely safe. First goal of the season for Big John. That's John Brooks, by the way. That's not Stonesy. I thought I'd actually get the names properly on the shirt so I could remember which one's which. He's actually got 2 inches on him, so there's hardly any difference. But yeah, Big John and Little John. And it really is all Stoke at this stage. In Bula to Lamar. Slots through Berardi, off the crossbar. This could be turning into anything. Celtic they've got something to offer at their own place, but away from home, it's a bit of a surprise to see that they made it, firstly, out of the group stage again, and secondly, all the way to the quarter-final. I don't know who they played in the knockout round, or indeed who was in their group, but simply, they just haven't got the firepower or the quality to survive an away leg at a better team. And that's half-time then, so a couple of players looking a little bit tired. Trippier already... he took a knock, didn't he, very early, so it's hardly a surprise. We'll time to keep a bit of focus just in case. They have got a player in quality of Griffiths, so we'll bring on Weiser. We won't take the chances with Trippier. The game is all but won. I think another goal absolutely deadens it, but yeah. And we'll push for that extra goal. Telles left side throw in. Lamar crosses, no one there to meet it. Allen is lurking. Is the substitute Weiser, who has a crack and just goes over the bar. It's open shooting for Stoke at the moment. Anyone, fill your boots is the message to the forward players. And we're through the hour mark. I think it's time to make some changes. I'm not too sure where. Let's get Verlinden on. Where's he? Yeah, we'll do that. We'll play Berardi left side and move Sigurdsson across to the middle just to... we certainly don't want to be picking up any injuries. As I say, this game is all but won. This is how you want to run in, isn't it? You know, we're streaking our way towards hopefully what is a Premier League and a European. That's a weird way of saying European Champions League double, and we face Celtic in the quarter-finals. No disrespect to Celtic, you're a good side, and it's awful goalkeeping, but he gets away with it. Just sort of stood there and let it hit him twice, and they'd be quite pleased, I think, at this stage because they've been absolutely destroyed today. It certainly makes up for that first leg. Encounter where the referee decided he was a hoops, and that'll be that then. So just 30 seconds to play, just to close out the game. Diame to Abue. Can they get a consolation? Lustig, he can't. Telles comes through like he came through the back of him there, but he won the ball cleanly. Dembele has survived the full game without being hooked, so he'll be pleased with that, even though he's not really offered a lot. And he loses out there though to Rogic. There's always a player I can't pronounce, isn't there? There's Farman, there's Farman, or whatever his name is. There's Rojic, or Rogic, or Rogoro. Sorted. So we've got the quarter-finals out of the way. Semi-final draw is the upcoming Friday. Stay with me. Right, so here we go then. This is getting real now. Look at those teams. Liverpool, Ajax and Roma. We fear no one. We could well be one of the favourites at this stage. Ajax overturned that deficit to Bayern and knocked them out 3-0 winners at the Johan Cruyff or the Amsterdam Arena. And who will we get? We'd love a second leg at home, so Ajax would be... No, we don't get that. Ajax against Liverpool, a tasty-looking encounter, which means we do play Roma. We do play the second leg at home, away, which is frustrating. and it will be Roma that we face. Let's have a quick look at the Roma squad. Won't keep you too long. You can see there they've got some notable names that they've had before. Szczesny, Juan Jesus, Ponk. Great name. Didn't know, never heard of him. Ponk. Great. I thought that was a game. Anyway, Paredes, Strootman, of course. One day he'll move to Man United. Schopf, Mo Salah, still there. He's up to 167 games for now. Never got his big money move back to England with Liverpool. Stephen El Shawari and Edin Dzeko still there. So, yeah, it's going to be a difficult game for us. Certainly a difficult encounter, but one that we should be winning. They're 5th, 6th in Serie A. We're first in the Premier League. You see that running. It's difficult. We've got Man City and Arsenal including that sort of away trip. But other than that, I think we could well sneak into the final of the Champions League and indeed take the Premier League crown. Something to which both things I thought were well beyond us. I thought we would forever be perennial League Cup and FA Cup battlers, and that would be our maximum, constantly finishing 3rd, 2nd in the Premier League, which is fine. But this season, we're turning it around. I don't know where we can improve. Let me know what you think. So, yeah, we'll be back for the Champions League semi-final, that trip, or rather the home game, and then the trip to Rome. And hopefully we can do the business and see our way into our first major final. Let's be honest, the FA Cup pales into insignificance if you're not touched. If you haven't won it, if you don't win the FA Cup, you don't want to win it. You only want to have won it if you've won it. But thanks very much for watching today. Do follow me at Knock It Wide on Twitter. Like the video if you've enjoyed and subscribe for more. I'll see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.